Hey, yo. What is the word? What goes on, peeps? Jay Porks here. We are back. Here with a brand new episode of Dyze in Your House. We are going to try to keep it short because shorter is more digestible. First and foremost, the views and opinions expressed on this podcast are that of my own and do not represent that of my employer. We're going to talk about fascism. More importantly, we're going to talk about how we're going to fight it on Saturday. No kings. What does that mean? It means there's no kings. So people who currently occupy 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue will be protested on Saturday in cities across the country. These protests, we are going there to speak, and I will be there. I hate to be one of those guys. I will be there. I have a 3-day weekend. I've already alerted people. You know, if you don't see me on Tuesday, I'm probably in El Salvador. And fascism, we're here to fight it. Now, I'm not somebody that's been to 1,000 protests, right? I've been to a handful. But I can tell you, there's a couple of things that we need to not do. I do understand that the media is like gonna try to make this about, like, turn this into the LA riots, what's going on in California. It is totally not. There are totally mariachi bands and people, you know, walking with their dogs and their family. They're just making their voice heard, exercising their right to peacefully protest. And when we're peacefully protesting, listen, ask yourself this. This might be the new name of my podcast because I keep going back to this, right? Does this help Democrats get elected? So if you're heading to a protest and you're thinking, I want to do violence, ask yourself, does this help Democrats get elected? And when you come to the stark realization that it doesn't help Democrats get elected, that violence and stuff like that is not what we're here to do. We're here to exercise our right. I can't say this enough. America is a protest. Like, this country is founded on people that didn't like the government and then came to a new land. Now, there were already people here, and then they enslaved them, and, you know. But in between that, America was founded on a protest. It is our American right and duty. Our forefathers wrote about it in all those documents that are supposed to be being upheld. We have a right to speak out against what is going on with our elected officials who are elected to serve us, by us, for us. They're not here to serve the Trump family. They're not here to serve the tech industry. They're not here to serve Elon Musk or Vladimir Putin or dictators across the world or whatever Qatar is getting for giving us that, for giving Trump that Air Force One, or whatever the Saudi Arabia, whatever Saudi Arabia is getting out of this guy. Like, this stuff is not normal. And this stuff needs to be spoken out against. And that's what we're going to do. This whole radical left notion, like that, you know, people like Kristi Noem will push on TV because one rock got thrown. Don't be surprised if some Proud Boys show up dressed like Democrats causing violence. They're looking. Enforcement agencies are looking for a reason. They're looking for a reason to get violent. They want to Kent State you. They want to Kent State me. So what we have to do is make sure that it is abundantly clear that we are there to just share our voices, hold our signs, do our chants. Hey, listen, maybe we'll have a mariachi band in Manhattan. Will there be any bands? All I know is that I'm looking for the group that's having the most fun. And fun in the sense of we're fighting fascism, but also, let's be abundantly clear, fighting fascism is pretty cool, And it's actually something that should be done more. And like, we're going to do that. And we're going to make sure that authorities and law enforcement, the National Guard, the ICE, the fake ICE Proud Boys would not, they don't have actual they don't have their name on their thing. They're wearing masks. We don't know who they are. They're disappearing people. We're not going to give them an opportunity to make it easy. They're going to have to come take some pretty peaceful looking fucking people. And the optics on that, not going to be good. This is already a failure for Trump. He, like this play already lost. Like, the what they say is this is a test run. They're going to do martial law. While I think that that's a possibility, I think that that's a thing that they want to do, that they would love to do. I also don't think that this stunt has provided the amount of, I don't want to say political clout. It hasn't been justified enough. Like, people see the National Guard and Marines standing around doing nothing. They see that. They're like, why are they there? There are more troops. Hear this. There are more troops on the ground in California than there are in Syria and Iran. One of my favorite lines to say, and it rings true right now. I'm no foreign policy major, but that seems a little fucked up to me. There's a study, the BBC has a study, it's a published like scientific work that like national strikes work. So like the thing is about capitalism, you can't really do a national strike because then you're not going to eat. So, and you can't go to work because then you can't not go to work because then like if I don't go to work, my landlord's going to come get me. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going to come tell me, yo, you got to leave. But like stuff like that works. Protests that are 3% of your nation's population, bars, protests that go 3% of your nation's population in the streets usually end dictatorships. And remember that Benjamin Netanyahu was a criminal. Remember that, right? Okay, I'm not, again, no foreign policy expert. I'm not speaking about Israel relations. I will say, Benjamin Netanyahu is a criminal, and when Israel protested en masse against him in 2023, he did actually leave the prime minister post. He was not there for a while. He regains power. I feel like that story has been told. Oh yeah, right. We just did that. Starlink did that, and Elon Musk. But also, just to hop on Israel bombing Iran, right? So if you're wondering, hey Jay, how am I supposed to feel about this? Well, I will tell you. If you're somebody that cares about human rights, okay? Think about that, right? You're somebody that cares about human rights. And think about what color are the people in Iran? Right, okay. So you're a person that cares about human rights who knows the color of the people in Iran. Now ask yourself this question. Do you think Donald Trump gives a fuck about those people? Right. So when a statement comes out that says the U.S. had nothing to do with Israel bombing Iran nuclear sites, just say that, you know, there may not have been American planes flying there, but they got the green light for that. So, if you want to know how to feel about that, That's up to you. But I'm just laying it out there. It's another thing that is supposed to distract from protests. At the end of the day, our voices will be heard. At the end of the day, we will not capitulate. We will not bow down like the news, like all of your major media companies, CBS, NBC, ABC, firing journalists who speak the truth, not their truth, the truth about what's going on in our country, and what's going on in our country is fascism. And if you have some free time on Saturday, Google No Kings Protest and see where the nearest protest to you is and go check it out. Go meet some people. I know that I'm going to network with some people because I need more Democrats in my life. I need more people in my life that when I say fascism is fucking fucked, people say, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Not me having to explain fascism to people. That's not a shot at anybody. It's just I'm from a generation different than the generations that the people are from that I spend a lot of time around. So, that I spend time around due to my employment situation. We will not capitulate. Senator Alex Padilla was arrested, manhandled, and detained for a little while after Kristi Noem he wanted to ask her a question, which is his right to do as a United States Senator. He's elected for us, by us, to ask questions for us so we can get answers. That didn't happen. Kristi Noem wasn't down with that. That's another failure. The Department of Homeland Security couldn't answer a question from a senator. How is she supposed to deal with fucking terrorists? And I will leave you with this. The National Guard is in California. Right? Still. Marines are in California. There are more troops on the ground in California than there are in hostile foreign nations like Syria. Okay? Now I want you to look at the pictures of the California protests and then check out pictures from the Capitol at January 6th. Because in one of those situations, the National Guard was called in only one of them. And I don't need you to guess because I gave you the answer 3 sentences ago. The National Guard is in California. There's more troops on the ground in California than there is in fucking Syria. Not saying we want to be the world police or anything like that. I'm saying we got to take care of here. But California is not the fucking problem. ICE is the problem. Stop disappearing people without due process. And I'll leave you with this, though, for real. I keep wanting to go. There's a conversation to be had about Gavin Newsom, right? There's a big conversation to be had. Meeting the moment right now, but holy shit. Is there some PR firm or something that could work with him to help him walk back, platforming transphobes and fucking Nazis? Because, his podcast, or he went on some podcast and he was saying some shit that was totally disqualifying. I know, and it wasn't purity test disqualifying. He was really being a bro. Yeah, he was doing Andrew. It was giving Andrew Schultz. You know what I mean? However, right now, he looks like the strongest person in this fucking country. And goddamn, why do you have to do that? So that's going to be a reckoning for Gavin Newsom. Because if we ever do have an election, right now, Gavin Newsom just shot himself up to the top of that ticket. Like the guy or not, that's what happened. It's just like, the New York mayor's race. You know what I'm saying? like the guy or not, we know who the mayor's going to be. But Gavin Newsom, meeting the moment. I'm a huge fan of everything he's doing right now. Not a huge fan of his transphobia. Not a huge fan of him platforming MAGA people on his podcast. However, everybody's entitled to missteps. That's why we have public relations firms. And hopefully he can find one to figure out a way to slither his way out of that shit like he's Jason Kidd out of a fairly decent job in the NBA. That joke's a deep cut, but I'm still hurt. I'm still a Knicks fan, and I'm still fucking pissed that they fired Tom Thibodeau. But that has nothing to do with this right now. But I just want to point that out there, that I do pay attention to other things too. And as you know, as always, there will be a Cash App somewhere down here. My Cash App is at Dyze in your house. It's not at Dyze in your house. It's $ Dyze in your house. But here's what I need you to do. I need you to think about it like this. Don't just pass the Cash App and don't see it and ignore it, because I need your help. I might need bail money. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what the next couple of days hold for me, for any of us. Shit's gonna get hairy. So, one day, what in case in 3 weeks from now, right? We're both sitting across from each other in an internment camp, and you say, "Hey, I recognize you. I saw your podcast. You know what's funny? I was about to donate, and then I said I'd do it tomorrow, and then Gestapo came and got me, and now we're here." That's why you should donate now. Listen, I have a Patreon, patreon.com/Dyze in your house. I tell everyone that they should go over there and subscribe and become a paid member on the paid tier and support the podcast, because you want to support your friends, you want to support your community, and you want to support people on the right side of history, and you want to do that. But at the same time, I can't expect everyone to go to Patreon and sign up. Not everyone knows what the fuck that is. So now I'm streaming directly on YouTube here. On YouTube, public for everybody, with a Cash App on the screen. Internet, stop letting me down, okay? I'd appreciate it if you didn't let me down anymore. Thanks. Okay. If you're going out to the protest on Saturday, please be careful. Don't break any laws. Only do what this country is founded on, and that's protest oppressors. This fascist regime, located occupying 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, is not it. And we are going to let them know that they're not it on Saturday. And I'm going to I might try to go live on Saturday, but until next time, hopefully not the last time, I'll be outside late.